Welcome everyone to today's webinar. I'm Ben Verdi Chapman, VP of Marketing at Court Reserve. We're going to talk about something that can have a huge impact on your club, your Google business profile. Over the next 10 minutes or so, I'm going to walk through a story that starts with a problem most clubs don't even realize they have, and it will end with a concrete plan that you and your team can actually implement this week. Some housekeeping before we kind of get started here. Please keep your microphones muted. There will be a Q&A opportunity at the end. I encourage you to use the chat available here. We have Jennifer, the amazing Jennifer, assisting me here today. She'll be able to help you out in the chat there. If not, I'll get to those questions at the end. Also, I'm happy to share that I will be emailing every attendee, every registrant with these slides, with a recording and a transcript, so you can take this back and kind of study it yourselves. So let me kind of get started here. I'm going to paint a picture for us first. So imagine a family just moved into your area, your zip code, and they're looking for somewhere to play. They do what everyone else does, they Google it. 3 clubs pop up, yours isn't there. So you actually just lost a potential member and you had no idea. This is the invisible club problem, and it's a lot more common than you might think. So let's look at the data. Almost half of all Google searches have local intent. That basically means somebody is searching for something nearby. And 76% of those searches actually visit a business within 24 hours. Over a quarter make a purchase. So that's some, serious numbers there. So your Google business profile is really your front door, your kind of digital front door for all these folks who are searching things in your zip code. So what exactly is a Google business profile, you might ask? It's basically your free listing that shows up in a Google search and Google Maps. Think of it like your digital storefront. It shows everything a potential member may need: your club name, your address, your hours, photos, reviews, even a direct link to, book your court. And the best part, this is completely free. Here's a great example of Ashley and Tim, founders of Court Reserve. They also own a fantastic pickleball facility here in St. Augustine, Florida. They have a very well built out profile. So when you're looking for pickleball in St. Augustine, there's a very, very strong chance that Old Coast Pickleball is going to come up. And here's how it looks on Google Maps. I'm sure all of you have seen a Google business profile, maybe without realizing it. But this is kind of basically the 2 ways that you can kind of discover these profiles. Okay, so here's our game plan for this webinar. We're basically going to go through 5 steps that will take your profile from invisible to irresistible. We'll go through each one with real examples and practical tips that you can apply right away. So let's jump into step 1. The most important thing you can do right now is claim and verify your profile, your Google business profile. If you have not done this, nothing else really matters. Google may in fact have already created a listing for your club with incorrect information. You need to go claim it so you control what people see when they search for things in your zip code. You can basically head over to business.google.com, search for your club or your facility, and start that verification process. It usually takes a few days. It can take up to a couple of weeks, depending on the type of verification that you're required to do. Step 2 is to complete every single detail of your Google business profile. Google rewards profiles that are fully filled out. We're talking 70% more likely to attract visits if you complete 100% complete your profile. Go through every field, your exact business name, your correct address, phone number, local phone number, website link, your hours, including holiday hours, all the relevant categories and attributes. Just try not to skip anything. Here's a really cool tip that we've learned about. Categories are basically your secret weapon when it comes to Google. The category tells Google when to show your profile during a search on Google Search or Google Maps. So your primary category is the most important thing for your business. Pick one that best describes, your main business. If you're a pickleball club, you want to have your primary category as a pickleball club. Then add every secondary category that you can think of that applies to your business. If you have, tennis facilities, if you have a pool, a gym, a golf sim, add those too. Basically, the more relevant categories means more searches where you can have an opportunity to appear. Step 3, this is where we start to tell the visual story. Photos are super important for your profile. This is, again, where many clubs kind of leave the opportunity on the table. Businesses with photos get 42% more direction requests. You may want to have things like exterior shots so people can find you when they're driving around. Court photos, action shots of real members at your club, event photos, even photos of your team and your front desk. And you should really be refreshing these every few months. Here's a great example of Wolverine Pickleball in Ann Arbor. They have a great suite of photos on their profile. You can get a sense immediately of what it would be like to be at this club. And it just does a great job of kind of selling the location. Step 4, super important, is reviews. 98% of consumers read online reviews before they choose a local business. This is from a Bright Local 2024 survey. That's huge. The key is making it easy. So after a great lesson, send a follow-up email with a direct link. Put a QR code on your front desk asking for reviews. And if you're using Court Reserve, which I know probably most of you are, you can actually automate some of this and request reviews after events and lessons. How you respond to reviews matters just as much as the reviews themselves. For positive reviews, you want to be thanking those people personally and invite them back. For negative reviews, a fast response time is critical. Acknowledge their experience and take it offline if you need to. Give them a call. But remember, every single response that you have is a public audition for your next member. Future prospects will judge your club by how you handle things like criticism. Here's a couple of examples that I found of some actual real reviews, and you can see there the responses from the owner. This is just such a great low-hanging fruit for folks. Step 5. You've done all that, great. You have to stay active, right? So you want your profile to sort of have some personality, have some life to it. So Google Posts are actually like mini social media updates that appear right on your business profile. You can post about pretty much anything: events, offers, what's new, general updates. But the key here is consistency. You need to aim for at least one post per week. Again, Google is rewarding profiles that are active, have activity on them, and this will increase your visibility when people are searching. Here's a very simple content calendar that you could use. You can basically start using this right away. Monday, you could feature member spotlight. Wednesdays, you could talk about some upcoming events that you have. Friday, run a weekend special or an offer. Sunday, start previewing the following week. Pro tip here, if you have the bandwidth, if you have the team, batch create your posts at the start of each month. If you're up to speed with your programming, you should have at least some visibility into what's coming at your club, so you're not kind of scrambling to get this done every day. Here's another feature that many clubs overlook. Google Q&A. So basically anyone can come to your profile and ask and answer questions on your profile. If you don't control the narrative as the owner operator, someone else will. So the smart move here is to actually seed your own FAQ, your frequently asked questions. you can ask the common questions yourself and provide the official answers, and then you can come in and monitor those weekly for any new questions that you would have. This is different from reviews. This is not somebody reviewing your facility. This is simply somebody asking about it. So it's a slightly different angle than the reviews there. Okay, so we flew through that, but now you've done all the hard work. You have the perfect profile. Your profile is claimed, it's complete, you have great photos, you're getting reviews, you're posting regularly. But here's the thing, when a player finds your club on Google and wants to book, what actually happens? They probably have to leave Google. They have to go to your website. They have to navigate some of your booking system there. And most people don't actually make it. It's kind of a broken journey. That is until now. We're very happy to announce a recent launch of ours called Reserve with Google. So we actually partnered with Google themselves. They invited us to partner with them as one of their reservation partners. So what does this mean? This puts a book online button directly on your Google business profile. So players, anyone searching for your club, can now tap this. They land right into the public booking flow. There's no website, there's no account to create, there's no membership required. This is basically a 24/7 booking channel that runs itself once you enable it. It's included at no extra cost on most of our plans. We can provide some more information about that. What does it look like? These are live customers that we have right now. We have over 400 clubs using this feature. So you're going to get a big book online button on your Google business profile. It really couldn't be any easier than that. And it looks great. So how does it actually work? Well, a player searches for courts near them, as we were discussing earlier, pickleball near me, pickleball lessons near me, and because your profile is so great, you're now going to appear in those search results or the results on a map. They are basically going to land in your public booking page. They're going to browse your available court time or events, and they're going to pick a time and pay, and they're confirmed. It's as simple as that. The whole thing takes less than a minute. There's no friction, there's no drop-off. We also have the added bonus here of providing a digital waiver ahead of them coming to your facility, so they can literally arrive and start playing, start enjoying your facilities. Super cool. Here's the big picture. Reserve with Google isn't just about filling empty court time. This is actually about building your membership pipeline. So I believe the primary function of a club is to create new players, not only for your club but for the community, for the industry. Stats indicate that between 1 in 6 of us are going to be playing a racket sport by the end of next year. So this thing is not going anywhere. There's more and more people entering the space. So basically, every player who books through Google automatically becomes a lead in Court Reserve, in your Court Reserve application. From there, now you can follow up after their visit. You can invite them to more clinics, leagues, events. You can move them towards a full membership. So one tap on Google basically creates a member who could stay with you for years. The best part, yes, it gets even better. You can enable this thing in just a few minutes. So you're going to go into your settings in Court Reserve, find your portal settings. You're going to see public bookings. You're going to activate Reserve with Google. That's it. Once you do that, a book online button will start appearing on your Google business profile, providing you've built it out. It's included at no extra cost for customers on most of our pricing plans there. You're also going to have an active payment processor if you're in the US or Canada. So now what happens once you're live with Reserve with Google? You want to see if it's actually working. So you can't really improve things if you can't measure it. So Google Business Profile actually gives you a free dashboard of insights that show you how people are finding you on Google. How many people see your profile? What sort of actions are they taking? and also how things like your photos or your reviews are performing compared to similar businesses. So you can check these weekly or monthly and you can start to see trends. Here's an example of what that looks like. This is just a screenshot of a dashboard from one of our customers, anonymized. So you're just going to see some really cool data here. It's very simple, very easy to understand, but it gives you a lot of great insights about that local search activity around your business. So before we wrap up, let's kind of go through some of the mistakes that I'm seeing clubs make when it comes to their Google business profile. You really don't want to have too many keywords in your business name. Okay, this will actually get your business profile suspended because Google doesn't like profiles that try and sort of cheat the system. So there's kind of restaurants out there is like restaurant near me. That's literally the name of their restaurant. That's probably going to get you suspended from Google. So just be mindful of the keywords that you put into your business name. Ignoring those negative reviews, I can't stress enough what that communicates to others who are looking at your facility. You need to get in front of those negative reviews if you are getting them, responding and trying to really show others that you're taking action there and you have a live and active profile. Stock photos, don't use stock photos. It's better to have a bad photo from your iPhone. We're not all photographers after all, but stock photos are going to, again, decrease the value of your profile with regards to Google. So try and get some real photos in there. It will definitely help kind of present your business profile as a real living thing. And, don't just set up your profile and forget about it. You really need to come back and keep this thing, moving, right? Make sure everything is up to date. Again, Google will down rank your profile if you're not going in there and sort of updating it and publishing things and keeping ahead of stuff. So you just want to keep Google happy, basically. So this is basically your action plan. Like I said at the very top, we are going to send all of these slides around the recording too. So you don't have to memorize any of this. You can actually use this as your guide. But it's very straightforward. You're going to claim your profile. Like I said, if you do anything, go do that. Nothing else matters unless you go claim and verify your profile at business.google.com. You're going to fill out every detail, as I said. You're going to go and enable that reserve with Google and the public booking in Court Reserve. That's going to give you the book online button on your profile. There's no other way to get it. Without Court Reserve, none of our competitors offer that. You're going to upload 10 real photos or 10 or more real photos. And you're going to ask 5 of your happiest members for some really amazing reviews, 5-star reviews. You're going to start publishing some of your own content on Google and seed your Q&A. And then try and keep that up every week, every month. If you follow this plan, I can promise you will see results within 30 days. You're going to go into your dashboard on the profile and you're going to see all of your stats creeping up. But you do have to tend to that yard. It's very much like tending to your plants and your vegetables. You have to go in there and like show it some love. So remember that family who searched for a club and yours didn't show up? Well, if you follow the steps that I've laid out today and activate Reserve with Google, next time they search, your club is going to be the one that they find. They'll be able to go and book a court even before they leave the search results. That's me done with my slides. Thanks so much for joining. I'm happy to take any questions or feedback that you have. Please drop that in the chat.
Great, Ben. Thank you so much. We do have 2 questions from Joe. The first is specific to him, but the second I think could several people on here could benefit from the second question. The first question is if he does not have a physical location or set hours or a phone number, would this work for him?
I'm going to hedge on it not working because you do need a you do need a physical location for a Google business profile. That's how you verify your profile with Google. So I'm going to hedge on saying no, but we can certainly verify that for you after this webinar and follow up with that answer.
Okay, perfect. And then next, where I think we can help is is it possible to limit public registration just to special events like a tournament or a special session? And I have an answer on that one. Basically, we can make a membership type specifically for public bookings and then make it not public. Most events only allow to be public on a specific event. So basically, you would just allow specific events to be public. And then, Joe, I do see that you're looking for some more direction. We will have someone reach out to you after this call, so that we can help a little bit further. Um, Next, Ben, Nathan is asking, how does the booking with Google feature work with a Brevo integration?
Brevo being the access control, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So Brevo would work as normal as it does with your court reserve setup. It's planned that we fully integrate the public booking with the access control partners that you may be using, Brevo, Remote Lock, and such. So Brevo would work as normal as it does with court reserve right now, and we're planning that integration connection with the public booking flow.
Wonderful. As of now, that's all of the questions that we have.
Great. Well, like I said, I'm going to share this presentation with everybody who registered and joined today. I encourage you to go look at some of these links. We have a setup guide on the Court Reserve public booking and reserve with Google. And also, I'm providing a link to Google's official kind of how to go claim your Google business profile, so you can actually follow the steps that they recommend. And you'll see some of the requirements around verifying your location. Ravi, looks like you have raised your hand there. I'm not sure how that works.
Yes, I can.
Here we go.
There's a question from
Okay.
Ravi. As our facility is being built, but we launched a membership drive, can this be added with Google integration? I understand we need to have our signature or our signates, oh, your signage on the door for Google registration. Um, Ben, I would recommend that we